Portland's median home price just hit $640,000, but the property tax reassessment that just added 43% to home values overnight, most agents won't mention that until you're under contract. Winter heating runs $3,000 to $5,000 annually, and you're not seeing proper daylight for months. Today, I'm breaking down the 7 things that consistently surprise new residents, and one of them directly impacts your monthly budget in ways most people don't calculate until it's too late. You go to work when it's dark, you leave when it's dark, late November through mid-February. If you're working a normal 9 to 5, you're not seeing the daylight during the week. The winter solstice brings about 9 hours between sunrise and sunset. December through February, the average temperature sits at right around 26 degrees. Portland gets nearly 70 inches of snow every year. First, winter tires. You absolutely need them, especially if you don't have a 4-wheel drive or all-wheel drive vehicle. Even with great plow services near Greater Portland, the roads are still very dangerous and very slick, and a lot of people get stuck. Second, heating your home runs anywhere from $250 all the way up to $600, depending on the size, every month during peak winter season. A lot of people don't factor this in, and they're blown away by the true cost to heat their home. Third, winterizing your property. That's gutter maintenance, added insulation, preventing ice dams, raking your roof from the snow, things like that people do not talk about. It's added expense, and those heating costs are just one piece of the financial puzzle. When we get to the property tax numbers in a minute, you'll see why budgeting for Portland requires a completely different calculation than most people expect. Keep an eye on which direction your home faces. South-facing properties get more natural light and passive solar heating. That cuts your heating costs and helps snow melt faster. This is a big deal and can't be overlooked. Here's a good tip. When you're touring homes, check it out different times of the day. A house that looks bright at 1 p.m. might be pitch black by 3:30 in the winter. Take a drive-by a couple times before you write the offer so you can see how the sun hits the house. Portland's summer runs late June through early September. You get comfortable temperatures, pretty low humidity, and access to beaches and lighthouses. Locals plan their whole year around making the most out of this short window. But summer fun and winter survival both cost money. Let me show you what the real numbers look like. Portland's median sale price today sits at around $640,000, up 4.1% from last year. Homes are selling in about 26 days, so we're not in the pandemic frenzy anymore. But you still need to move fast when you find the right property. Here's what catches people. The city of Portland just finished a property reevaluation for 2026. Property values jumped an average of 43% in the reassessment. When your assessed value jumps that much, your property tax bill goes up even though the mill rate dropped. Most Portland homeowners saw their taxes increase. At that $640,000 median price, you're looking at about $7,667 every year in property taxes. That's about $640 every month on top of your mortgage payment. Maine also has graduated income tax that tops out at about 7.15%, and the cost of living is about 13% higher than the national average, with housing 30% above. So when you're figuring out what you can actually afford, you're looking at the mortgage payment plus property taxes, home insurance, and winter heating. So that $640,000 home is gonna cost you closer to $4,500 to $4,800 every month all in. That's the real number to budget for. These numbers matter because they shape what lifestyle you can actually afford. And that lifestyle, it's got a character you need to experience to really understand. Picture running into your neighbor at the grocery store, waving at people in the elevator, seeing the same faces at your local coffee shop every morning. For a city of 68,000 people, Portland feels surprisingly intimate. People are genuinely friendly here. You get to know your neighbors. That New England community feel is pretty rare these days in cities this size. And that small town vibe is deeply connected to Portland's geography. The water access we're about to discuss shapes everything, from how neighbors interact to where people spend their free time. That small town feel creates real community connections. The food scene thrives on relationships between chefs, farmers, and fishermen. The art community supports each other. There's a collaborative spirit that's hard to find in bigger cities. The Old Port has actual cobblestone streets and a working waterfront. So you've got commercial fishing operations right next to restaurants serving the day's catch. It's the real deal, and it's been here for 200 plus years. The authenticity comes from Portland's coastal identity. Let me show you what water access actually means for your daily life. 20 minutes on the ferry and you're stepping onto an island that feels like you've left the mainland entirely. That could be your Tuesday morning if you want it to be. Portland sits on a peninsula in Casco Bay. You've got water on 3 sides. You've got the Eastern Promenade, which offers 2 miles of waterfront trail with harbor views. Back Cove has a 3-mile loop trail with city skyline views. And East End Beach gives you a sandy beach right in the city with lifeguards during the season. Casco Bay includes the Calendar Islands. Casco Bay Lines runs ferry service to Peaks Island and the other islands. Peaks Island is a 20-minute ferry ride. You can bike around the island, hit the beaches, grab lunch at the island restaurants. Portland Harbor supports commercial fishing, recreational boating, sailing schools, and charter operations. You've got multiple marinas with slips and moorings available. Waterfront properties cost serious money though. Single-family homes easily hit $1.5 million for very small homes, all the way up to $10 million. Even if you're not on the waterfront, you're never more than a 10-minute drive from water access. The proximity to beaches, lighthouses like Portland Headlight and Cape Elizabeth, and coastal scenery is just part of daily life here. But getting to those spots means understanding how Portland transportation actually works. Now, before we go further, if you're serious about understanding Portland's real estate market and want help working through all these factors, shoot me an email. It's down in the description and on the screen now. I work with buyers and sellers who value this kind of local, detailed insight, and I can help you get a good deal. Now, let's get back to the video. Okay, good news. Rush hour adds 15 to 20 extra minutes compared to midday travel. Not the soul-crushing crawl you'd face in Boston. Traffic's manageable. Portland's still a small city after all, and if you're commuting daily from the suburbs like Falmouth, South Portland, Westbrook, Cape Elizabeth to downtown Portland, you're typically looking at 15 to 25 minutes. Winter parking bans get declared during snow emergencies though, so if you're living in a building without off-street parking, you need to plan for moving your car during storms. That might mean parking half a mile away and walking back in the snow. If you're working downtown, factor in parking costs of $150 to $250 every month. The Old Port, Arts District, and East End neighborhoods score in the 90s out of 100 on the walk score. You can handle daily life without a car if you're on the peninsula. The walkability matters when you understand the seasonal rhythms here. You need a specific mindset for these winter months. If you don't have a winter hobby ready to go, February is gonna feel very, very long. Portland's got excellent winter outdoor activities. The region offers skiing, snowmobiling, cross-country skiing, snowshoeing, ice skating, sledding, you name it. Sunday River and Sugarloaf are within 2 hours for excellent downhill skiing. During Oaks Park has an outdoor skating rink in the winter. The Back Cove Trail also stays year-round for runners and walkers. Here's the reality. If you don't develop winter hobbies, you're gonna be stuck indoors for 3 to 4 months. People realize in February they're bored, isolated, and questioning why they moved here. I always see a lot more people reaching out to sell their homes during those months. A lot of those people are either retiring or relocating. They want to get out of the cold, so you need a hobby. Portland does see winter tourism during Christmas and New Year's for the holiday vibe. February vacation week brings families up for skiing, but January and March can feel pretty quiet. Now you're paying for a home in Maine, possibly paying for snow removal, and paying for a second location. It's one reason Portland doesn't have a huge retirement crowd. The double hit of paying for winter services and summer lawn care can really add up. And speaking of what makes Portland worth it, the development project's coming in 2026. I'll break down at the end how they are actually changing how the city handles winter. The infrastructure updates matter more than you think. But if you embrace winter, you'll join Mainers who genuinely love it. The people who thrive here make winter an active season instead of something to just survive. The same resilience and community spirit show up in what makes Portland genuinely special day to day. Let's find out what that is. Bon Appetit didn't name Portland Restaurant City of the Year because we have a lot of restaurants. They named us that because a city of 68,000 people somehow has James Beard award-winning chefs and farm-to-table dining that rivals cities 10 times the size of Portland. The Portland Market House at 28 Monument Square hosts multiple local vendors. The Portland Farmers Market runs outdoor in Deering Oaks Park on Wednesdays and Saturdays. Over 20 breweries operate within city limits as well. Healthcare is anchored by Maine Medical Center at 22 Bramhall Street. It's a level 1 trauma center and includes the Barbara Bush Children's Hospital. Northern Light Mercy Hospital provides more acute care. Multiple primary care networks, including Martins Point Healthcare and Intermed, serve the region. The arts and cultural scene in Portland has a lot to do. You have the Museum of Art, Portland Symphony Orchestra, Portland Stage Company, and multiple performing venues. First Friday Art Walk happens monthly. The city hosts festivals year-round. The Old Port Festival, Maine Brewers Festival, and Harvest on the Harbor. Daily life in Portland offers way more cultural amenities, dining options, and healthcare access than you'd expect for a city of this size. You're getting quality over quantity, and that quality is evolving. Let me show you what's changing in 2026 that matters if you're planning to move. Portland just finished its first major land use code overhaul in decades. The timing matters if you're moving here next year. The updated zoning focuses on making development easier, creating housing, and encouraging transit-oriented development. More residential densities coming to certain corridors. That could easily ease up some supply issues. Right now, Portland's experiencing its largest private development in history. A $660 million transformation, turning nearly 10 acres of industrial waterfront into a mixed-use development. The city adopted a complete streets policy in 2025 to make sure streets work for multiple modes of transportation. The Greater Portland Metro Transit System is planning an expansion. This includes potential fixed route services all the way to Scarborough. Housing affordability remains Portland's biggest challenge going into 2026. Prices are rising faster than wages. If you're planning a move to Portland in 2026, expect competition for housing and budget accordingly. The job market's strong in healthcare, technology, education, and professional services. The Port of Portland is the second largest tonnage seaport in New England, if you can believe it. The creative economy is also thriving. Those opportunities exist, but understanding the full cost picture, from property taxes to winter expenses, determines whether Portland works for your budget long term. Now you know what it actually takes to make Portland work in 2026. The question isn't whether Portland's worth it, it's whether you're ready for what's to come with it. If you're serious about making this move and want someone to tell you the truth about properties before you make an offer, send me an email, youtube@wvwre.com, or check out the description below. I'm helping buyers navigate Portland's 2026 market right now, and inventory is moving fast. The buyers who win are the ones who understand these realities before starting their search, not after. And speaking of coastal towns near Portland, you'll see my breakdown of Cape Elizabeth versus Scarborough. One costs around $300,000 more than the other. I walk you through the oceanfront properties at Cape Elizabeth, the explosive growth in Scarborough, and whether that premium is actually justified. Plus, I reveal what town I'm personally investing in and why. Click the video, and I'll see you next week.